So amazing, so amazing. Incredible people. No matter where we go, we're all the same. You know, no matter where we go, it's this. It's people, they love this country. We love this country, and it's so sad. It's so sad to see what's happening. Somebody said recently, Donald Trump is angry. I'm supposed to be what? I'm happy? I'm supposed to be happy? Are you supposed to be happy with the Iran deal? Are we supposed to say, oh, it's wonderful? It's very sad, actually, what's happening, and we're going to change it around, and we're going to be happy. And you know what? It's not going to take us too long to be happy. You'll be amazed at how quickly. You know, the other day I said where they want to balance the budget of the United States within the next 25 years. I said 25 years? 25 years. With all of the incompetent stuff, 25 years? I don't think so, folks. It's going to go quickly. It's going to go nicely. But think of it. You know, and then they say, well, is he happy? They actually say I'm having a great time doing this, which is true. But it doesn't mean that we're not angry, and we are, I think, all angry. But soon we're going to be extremely happy with results, okay? Believe me. And I have to tell you, because it just came out, but some beautiful, beautiful things just happened. Florida. 48 for Trump, 16 for 48 to 16. Think of that. And 11 is number 3. I won't mention names. Why the hell should I? Give them. All right? That's in Florida, 48 to 16. Monmouth, 36 to 17. And then everyone else is in the tubes. I mean, you know, you see poor Jeb. He's doing another commercial on me, this guy. He's a maniac. This poor guy, I feel sorry. He's like a lost soul. Jeb Bush. I keep saying, Jeb, why are you doing commercials? I'll leave you alone if you don't. What are you doing, Jeb? What are you doing? He's spending tens. I mean, the guy is spending, you know, he's got family backing, so he's got a lot of money. Although he's rapidly spending, soon he's not going to have any money left. But he's spent now, I understand it's up to $79 million. And that was as of a while ago, probably $89 million now. And I just see a commercial about me. He said, oh, Hillary Clinton will beat me. Let me tell you, the last Fox poll, just so you understand, the last Fox poll shows I'm going to beat her. I'm going to beat her so easily. I haven't even started on her yet. I haven't even started. But, you know, this poor, pathetic, low-energy guy, he gets up and he does a commercial that Hillary, they show Hillary winning an election. It's great. That's just what we need, a commercial that's positive for Hillary. This is the kind of thinking we have in this country. So he'll spend another $10 million. He does so many negative commercials. So he does a picture of, and then I said to myself, wait a minute. I'm going to lose to Hillary, and he's going to win, but he's losing to me by like 35 points. He's not even on the scale. These people, we got a bunch of real dummies, I tell you. And we'll talk about Ted Cruz, but we'll wait for a little bit because he's doing better than Jeb Bush. Jeb is down the toilet, and Ted is starting to go down. He's getting nervous. You see him now? Oh, by the way, we're putting a commercial, and you're going to like it tomorrow. But it's a very positive commercial. But Ted is getting very, very nervous. He should get nervous because a lot of polls are coming out. They're not looking good for Ted. They're not looking good. You know, his new line of attack is that I've become establishment. Oh, give me a break. Because Bob Dole, who's a terrific guy, said Trump will do better than Cruz, which is, you know, believe me, I will do better than Cruz. And, you know, I heard he was a great debater, but I beat him in the last debate. Everybody said I beat him in the last debate. I don't even do it. I don't even do it. He's a great debater. You know, the problem is he's a great debater, but he talks. When he talks like he's debating. He can't talk. So he can debate, but he can't talk. You got to be able to talk also in life, folks. You know, it's a little tough. But we've had an amazing time. I've loved doing it. This just came out about 15 minutes ago in Arizona. Trump, 38. Number 2 is 15. Whoa. Whoa, look what I just see here. Believe it or not, they just hand me these notes. You know, I'm not using teleprompters. I'm not reading speeches. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I don't do that. Whatever it is, that's what you get, folks, I tell you. But we are bringing out big crowds. You know what sickened me, though? I get home, Oklahoma, great place. We had a crowd. We had an arena at Oral Roberts University. Beautiful, beautiful place, beautiful arena. And it was packed. You could hear it, right? You could hear it. And Sarah Palin came out. She was so great. She endorsed me. She was so great. She was so great. But we had this arena. And I always complained that these guys, they're dishonest people, they don't show the audience. So, I mean, like, this is great, but this is a ballroom and it's packed and it's great and everything. But a ballroom isn't the same as an arena. Do we agree? Even though I like the hotel and I like the owner. The owner's a great guy. But it's a ballroom. But I had an arena yesterday. They had to send away from 5,000 to 7,000 people, and the arena was packed, like 10 to 12. So we had close to 20,000 people there yesterday, including the people we sent away, which I will come back and we will talk to them the next time. I felt badly, but we had to send away. So here you have this huge arena. I didn't see one shot. I watched this CNN. It was sickening to watch it. I didn't see one shot. It's focused on my face. Focus, focus. They don't do one damn shot of the crowd. They don't do one shot. I didn't see, it's true. No, it's terrible. Terrible. I didn't see, I mean, think of it. Here we are, we fill, I guess it's a basketball arena, big arena, beautiful arena. And it's packed, packed. So many, I mean, thousands of people. No, I'm sorry, you can't come in. They're going like crazy. The place is packed. Not one shot from these sleazebags back there. Not one, think of it. Not one shot showing the crowd. No, think of it. Not one single shot. No, I tell you, they're the worst. And you know what? It's purpose. I'll guarantee you one thing. If it were empty, they'd be showing those seats all over the place. They'd be showing. And the problem, and the thing I like when we have the protesters, the only time the camera moves is when there's a protester, because that's like a negative thing. Actually, I love protesters but the reason I like them is because these guys operating, I watched yesterday, that guy, and I think it's CNN, but I don't know. They were just fixated on me, all the cameras. Look at all those cameras back there, like the Academy Awards. Every time I make a speech, it's live. These other guys come in, I won't mention, but my competitors, you know, up and down the line, including Hillary, by the way. She comes in, there's like 38 people. Boring, very boring. Very, very boring. But you know what? They'll have like 109 people. Look at this crowd. If one of the other folks were here, what do you have, like 59 people, and they'd use a conference room. Look at the crowd. But I have to tell you, though, yesterday in particular, so we have this arena, it's full. And I'm telling them, turn your cameras, and I just see the cameras never move, you know, never move. And their bosses, I don't even blame those guys, their bosses tell them, don't move it. So you go home and you want to see, I didn't see one shot. You didn't see that. Now, you heard the purr. It's like, you know, like Michael Jordan or LeBron playing basketball. You know, you hear this purr. So you know there's a hell of a lot of people. That's not like a 200-person crowd. But here we have this arena that's packed, and not one single camera shot of the arena. It's disgusting. And they do it. And then this guy, this wacko Bernie Sanders, who wants to, by the way, wants to bring your taxes to 90%, okay? He says, everything's free, everything's free. The only problem is you're going to pay 90%. You know, it's free, except when you have to pay your tax. But he had 3,000 people in a certain location. And they said, he had a massive crowd, 3,000 people. It was unbelievable. And I have an arena that's packed and they don't mention it. It really is unfair, okay? Okay. You know what? The good news is my audience and my people. You know, one of the things that come out of the polls, I'm winning like all of the polls. One of the things, and by a lot. I actually saw somebody today on Fox, a woman that I hadn't seen before, but I like her very much. They asked her, they said, what's going on? Because we had a big poll in New Hampshire. New Hampshire's great. We just got a great poll in Iowa. Just came out 10 minutes ago. Emerson College, very important, great college. Trump 33, Cruz 23. Nice. Nice. Wow. And they just came out in North Carolina. Trump 38, Cruz is second at 16, and Cruz is going down. He's going down. No, he's having a hard time. He looks like a nervous wreck. He's going down. He had his moment. He had his moment. He had his moment and he blew it. But he's, honestly, look, it's one thing to be like a very, like a tough guy. We're all tough people. You got to be able to get along a little bit with people, right? You can't be so strident where he goes, not one Republican senator. Here's a senator. And by the way, if it weren't for Sarah Palin, he would not be a senator, just so you understand. He was at 2%, and then she came on, and he did fine. Honestly, Sarah brought him over the line. But here's a United States senator, Republican, doesn't have support of one other Republican senator. There's something wrong there. And I can tell you, they like me, those guys, and there's nothing wrong with that, folks. We got to make deals. We don't want to sign executive orders. We want to make deals. We want to make the right deals. But you know where I really want to make the deals? I want to stop China, and I want to stop all these countries from ripping the hell out of us. They are ripping us off like you have never seen. We have a trade deficit with China over $500 billion. You believe that? $500 billion. Now, I like China. I like the Chinese people. They're wonderful. I sell them apartments. I rent space to them. I have the largest bank in the world from China is one of my tenants. They pay me a hell of a lot of money. They're a great bank. In fact, every time their lease comes up, I said, they're not really going to stay, are they? They said, of course. They don't even know what I'm talking about. They said, of course we're going to stay. The reason is they're not insulted because they know I'm telling the truth. When I say that the Chinese leaders are too smart and too cunning for our leaders, this massive bank, you can check it out. I won't embarrass them. I'm going bad enough. By the way, it's the largest bank in the world, okay? The rest you can figure. Citibank is like this by comparison. This is the largest bank in the world. And every time I see them for an extension, I say, they love the place. And I say, really, you're going to say, I don't want to bring it up. I'm a negotiator, unlike Kerry, where he gives away the store. I say, oh, you're going to stay? Oh, good. I don't want to say, gee, you're not staying, are you? After all the bad things I say about you, you're not staying. No, I don't do that. I say, oh, you're staying. That's excellent. So we signed a new extension. And I said to him, you like to go? Oh, we love it. Now, with all I say about China, and again, I have a great relationship with China. I have a great relationship with Mexico. I love the Mexican people, love them. But their leaders are killing us at the border. They're killing us on trade. Nabisco is moving into Mexico with their big plant from Chicago, which means what? No more Oreos. No more Oreos. No more Oreos. Oh, it's going to be tough getting off Oreos. Well, I never liked Mexican water, to be honest with you, so probably not going to eat them anyway. I don't want Oreos made in Mexico. Right? So it's good. We'll stay away from Oreos. It's one thing we don't have to eat. So anyway, so we just got those numbers. That's so fantastic. 33-23, North Carolina, 38-16. Every poll. And they had the woman on Fox a little while ago, just as I was leaving. And she said she can never remember anybody having the kind of lead that Trump has, okay? Never remember. And I said probably an incumbent president, like Ronald Reagan as an incumbent, had to have a great lead. I don't think anybody ran against him. But let's say outside of that, she said it's the biggest lead she's ever seen. Just on. I like the woman very much. Please get me her number. I want to write her a thank you. Now, just so you understand, don't take it for granted. Okay, I'm a closer. We're going to close. We're going to start winning so much, just like the video. We're going to win and win and win. So I don't want to talk about it. I don't like talking about victory before victory. And so important to me is Iowa. Everyone said, oh, don't talk about it, because if you should come in second or third, in other words, you do well, they're going to say big loss, big loss. I had this jokester on who represents Cruz, somebody named Amanda Carpenter. I mean, she said, if he doesn't win by double digits, it will be a loss. I'll take a win by one vote, folks. Okay? And this idiot, she represents Cruz. She's saying, well, if Trump doesn't win by double digits, give me a break, okay? Give me 2 or 3 votes just in case there's a recount. I want to feel a little bit safe. No, it's unbelievable. I just saw her. She's saying, I have to win by... I want to win, okay? You know, we like to win. We know how to close deals. I close. I'm a closer. Even in sports, I've always been a closer. I win club championships. You got to know how to close. Our country doesn't have closers. Our country doesn't have winners. We have losers. We have guys that represent us and people that shouldn't be up there. We have political hacks negotiating with China, with Vietnam, with Japan, with Mexico, with all of these countries that are making a fortune off our stupidity. It's not going to happen anymore. Not going to happen anymore. I was just endorsed recently by the great Carl Icahn, great businessman, very, very rich guy. And he said, you know, look, Trump knows what he's doing. I talk corporate inversions. I mentioned that the other night to some of these guys I'm running against. They didn't know what I was talking about. Corporate inversion. So here's what's happening. Companies are leaving. You know, it used to be we leave New York for Florida, or we leave New Jersey for Texas or something, right? Now they leave Texas for other places. They leave New York for Asia. They leave New York for Ireland. Nice place, by the way. I have a lot of property in Ireland. Very good. Maybe I won't mind so much if I sign one of these big tenants. You know who's leaving is Pfizer. Pfizer is leaving for Ireland because taxes are too high and because they have millions and millions of dollars and they can't bring it back. We have $2.5 trillion outside of this country, essentially owned by, and you know, the money of corporations. They can't bring the money back. The Democrats agree, the Republicans agree, everybody agrees it's bad not to bring it back. They can't make a deal. They can't make a deal. There is total gridlock. Guys like Ted Cruz will never make a deal because he's a strident guy. No, you cannot have that. I told you, he's trying to paint me as part of the establishment. And somebody said, establishment? Well, how come Sarah Palin just packed him? Establishment. And you know what? There's a point at which, let's get to be a little establishment. We got to get things done, folks, okay? Believe me, don't worry. We're going to make such great deals. But at a certain point, you can't be so strident. You can't not get along. We got to get along with people. You know, in the old days, Ronald Reagan, and I remember it so vividly. I was a young guy. I helped Ronald Reagan. I really liked him. Thanks for that sign. That's beautiful. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Look at you. Thank you. I love that sign. So what happens, Ronald Reagan would get along with Tip O'Neill, and they'd sit down, and they'd make great deals for everybody. That's what the country's about, really, isn't it? You know? I mean, we can all be tough, and we can be but you know, at some point, we got to get our country back on track. We're losing. We have deficits like you wouldn't believe. We're losing with ISIS, right? Our military is in trouble. It's just decaying, our military. We're not spending and we're not putting, and by the way, every time we send equipment over, a very good soldier saw me the other day, a great soldier, over there for 3 shots. I said, do you want to go more? Well, I do. You know, these are really committed people, amazing people. Said every time we send equipment over there, the enemy captures it. He said, and we're fighting, Mr. Trump, with old equipment, and they've got all the new stuff. You know, we give it to these so-called allies of us, and a bullet gets fired, our allies run, they leave the equipment. You know the Humvees, the famous Humvee story. 2,300 Humvees in the hands of the enemy. And I said, you can't mean that much. Oh, here they come, oh, these paparazzi. They drive you crazy. 2,000, look at these people. Like bloodsuckers, you know, they're bloodsuckers. And they always have a picture of my face. They never, hey, turn around, fellas, shoot the crowd, please. Come here. Come here. Come here, get up here, get up here. Get up here, come on, shoot the crowd. You guys are, come here, I know these, get up here. Shoot the crowd. Shoot the crowd, get up. Get up on the stair, come on. Let him go. Get up here. Don't shoot me. Shoot him. Go ahead. It's okay. Look, Secret Service, these are the greatest guys. He's having a fit. Don't worry about it. Shoot the crowd. Okay, get out of here now. It's the only way we're gonna, it's the only way people are gonna realize. So, the Humvees, 2,300 Humvees, get sent over. And I said, can't be that many. That's a lot of Humvees. Now, we have wounded warriors, our greatest people. Our greatest people. No, honestly, the attitude, I meet them all the time, the smiling, the love, everything. These are great, great people. These are braver than me and braver than you folks, I'll tell you. These people are amazing. Their legs blown off, their arms blown off, worse than that. And they see me and they smile, they're happy. It's amazing. They're amazing people. If they would have had these Humvees, they'd be okay. The enemy has them. They shot up in the air, and our so-called allies that we don't even know who the hell they are, where they come from, they run, and they get brand new, armor-plated, the best in the world. Bombs go off, they go up, they come down, and they're fine. Okay? With us, we have the stuff, the bomb goes off, the whole thing blows apart, and everybody's killed or badly hurt. Because we're led by stupid people. We're led by people that shouldn't be there. We're going to change it. And that's why the polls are like that. And the polls aren't about me, it's about you. You know, I used to say, because I tell you what, I could think of other things I'd rather be doing. I had like a nightlife. I have this great company. I built this incredible company. I have a wonderful family. In fact, speaking of my family, Eric and Don, get up here. I have my two sons here. Two sons. Get up here.
I could get used to this. I don't know. It's, you know, you can't give a Trump a mic and not expect us to take our turn. So it's amazing to see all the support you guys have given my father. It really is. It's just incredible to see the reaction he's gotten across the country with real Americans who care about this country. He's an incredible businessman. He's an incredible deal maker. He's a winner, and more importantly, he's a great guy and a great dad. He's always been there for us, and he's going to be there for you guys. So thank you for all the support, and I'll give you back to him.
Thanks, honey. Wow. Well, guys, when I see this crowd, I'm so proud of our father. He is such an amazing guy. I mean, he's our best friend. We work with him every day. Don said in terms of negotiator and deal maker. He's a special guy. I love him too, so thank you. And thank you guys for your support. It means the world to myself, my family, Don, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
They're good boys. They're good boys. They're good boys. And they're members of the NRA, by the way. They're good shots. Big members. They're big members. They love it. They love the NRA, actually. And we're going to save the Second Amendment, folks. We're not going to be doing anything. They want to take it away. We're going to save it. You listen to Hillary. I mean, you're not going to have a Second Amendment by the time she finishes. I don't know that she gets to the starting gate, to be honest with you. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure she gets to the starting gate. She's got a lot of problems. But I was looking today. I mean, the problems she has. So a couple of things. You know, when you talk about the Second Amendment, a lot of things change. I did this journey, and it really is a journey. It's not what I wanted to do. We thought, hopefully, I backed John McCain. It didn't work out. A tough time because, look, for him to have won, I'm not sure Abe Lincoln could have won at that particular point, okay? That was a tough time. But Romney should have won. We would have, I mean, we should have had a victory. Something happened, I don't know. And say what you want about Obama. He was on Jay Leno. He was on Letterman. He was all over the place. I kept saying, where's our candidate? And anyway, and it ended up being a big fat loss. You had guys like Karl Rove that don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're leading this charge. And it was really sad to see it. I'll tell you, it was really sad, because that was an election that should have been won. We could have been very, very far advanced right now. Instead, we're starting from even deeper in the hole. But we'll get it turned, and we'll get it turned fast, that I can tell you. We're going to get it. We're going to get it turned fast. We're going to turn it. And so with the, you know, when you think of what happened, so when I started June 16th, coming down the escalator, the famous escalator, and it takes guts to run for president. I've never done this before. It takes guts. Who would have thought this was going to happen? I mean, we're all waiting for the same thing. Make America great again, right? Make America great. But who would have thought this was going to happen? And so I'm coming down, and I get up, I make a speech, and I talk about illegal immigration, and it was a firestorm. It was unbelievable. Rush Limbaugh, who's an amazing guy, great guy, said, I've never seen anybody receive so much incoming, meaning press, meaning kill press, as Trump. 2 weeks later, the candidates are all saying, well, you know, maybe he's got a point, because their constituency is saying, well, Trump is right. Trump is right. Then you had the killing of Kate in San Francisco. You had the killing of Jamil in Los Angeles, great young guy. You had the veteran, a female, wonderful, 65-year-old veteran, raped, sodomized, and killed by an illegal immigrant in Los Angeles, and on and on and on. And not only talking about the economy, talking about, and by the way, I want people to come in, but they have to come in legally, right? They have to come. And I took a lot of heat, and then we brought it back, and it all came back, and now everybody's trying to get tough with immigrants. They're not tough. They're not tough. First of all, we're going to build a wall, a real wall, a big wall. We're going to build a wall. I actually heard one of the candidates the other day, 3 days ago. My wife is watching television, and I hear the word wall. They're interviewing a candidate. I'm sort of falling asleep because it's so boring. And they're interviewing a certain candidate, and he said, we're going to build a wall. I said, did I hear the word wall? First time I've heard it. It's the first time. We're going to build a, first of all, they wouldn't know where to start, okay? But that's okay. These are minor details. But my wife said to me, darling, he just said he's going to build a wall. I've never heard that before. She watches this thing. She loves it like everybody else. Everybody's fixated on what's going on. 24 million people watching the debate. I hate to say this. If I weren't in it, you would have had two people. You know, it used to be a very badly rated thing. Those debates were not. Do you ever remember the debates before this year? Nobody remembers them. In fact, the networks were forced to take them. They didn't want them because it was like a wasteland, the debates. And now they want more. Can we do more? Can they be 12 hours? Can we just keep going? I mean, it's really been amazing. But now, everybody's come to me. They've all come to me, and now they're all tough guys. You know, everyone's a tough guy, but they're not tough guys. See, they're not real tough guys. They're phony tough guys. They're trying to get votes, and after they get in, they're politicians. All talk, no action politicians. It's not going to work. Not going to work. And by the way, and speaking of this, and by the way, just out of curiosity, ready? Who's going to pay for the wall? Mexico, 100%, okay? 100%. Mexico's going to pay. So some of these politicians asked me, they said, well, you can't get Mexico to pay. First they said you can't build a wall. Their second is, how can you possibly get Mexico? I'm a business guy. They make a fortune. They're making so much money in trade. I just told you, they're taking Ford, $2.5 billion plan. I just told you, they're taking Nabisco with their big plan from Chicago. That's two. They took a big plant out of Tennessee. Tennessee's an amazing place, a great state. I love the people of Tennessee. They're all set to sign this big contract with a foreign automaker. All of a sudden, at the very last moment, they announced they've decided, right? They've decided to go to Mexico. What's going on? And then they're going to make cars, and they're going to sell them to us, no tax, just bring them across the border. Might as well have the illegals driving the car, because you can get it inexpensively. Boom. That's right. They'll drive right past the guards. They'll drive right past the guards. It's very sad. No, it's very sad. They'll drive right past our guards. You know, we have great Border Patrol. They called me. That's how it all started, more or less. But 6 months ago, they called me. Laredo, Texas, great place, wonderful people, amazing people, right on the border. That's called Central Casting Border, right? And I went there and I met the Border Patrol. They asked me to go. And these are people that want to do their job. And they're saying, stand back. Don't do any, stand back. They're going crazy. They want to do their job, but they're not being allowed. These are strong guys, tough guys, the best equipment. Everything's good. Except, boom, people walk right through the border. Not going to happen anymore, folks. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And the whole thing with the anchor baby. Remember when I brought up anchor baby? They all said, oh, if you're born on our land, we take care of you for the rest of your lives. We're wrong. They're wrong. So I started saying, can't be. Because our founders were very smart people. It can't be. And if it were, we're one of the only countries where that is. By the way, try having a baby in Mexico and saying, congratulations, this baby is a citizen of Mexico. The first thing they'll do is laugh at you. The second thing is they'll give you a foot right out of Mexico. With your baby, by the way. Okay? So I said it can't be. It's okay. Well, now I have the top constitutional guys, the same guys that say that Ted Cruz was born in Canada and can't run here. I mean, to be honest, a lot of those same guys. He's got a problem. He does have a problem. We'll get to that in a second. We'll hold. We're going to talk about anchor babies first. So we had this theory that we needed a constitutional amendment, right? We need a constitutional amendment. Now, a constitutional amendment will take forever. Then they find out, some of the great scholars said, no, wait a minute. If you're illegal and you come in here illegally and you have a baby, you don't need a constitutional amendment. You don't have it. The worst we need is a vote of Congress, which should be very easy once we get along. It should be very easy. But I don't even think you need that. So we're going to stop with the anchor babies. Hundreds of thousands of people coming in from all over. They have a baby, and you have to take care of the baby for 85 years. No good, folks. No good. So we're going to have a border. It's going to be a real border. We're going to have a wall. It's going to be paid for by Mexico. It's going to be a real wall. We're going to have a door in the wall because we're going to have people come in. They're going to come through that wall, but they're going to come through that wall legally. Legally. So, education, just for a second. No more Common Core. It's a disaster. It's dead. These clowns like Jeb Bush, they want Common Core. In other words, educate your children from here and from Iowa and from New Hampshire and from South Carolina and North Carolina and California and New York. Educate your children by the bureaucrats in Washington that don't really care about your children. They care about their paycheck. Not going to happen that way anymore. Not going to happen that way. Think of it. We spend more per pupil than any country in the world, by far. Second place is way down here, by far. We're number 28 in terms of great education. Third world countries are ahead of us in education. Not going to happen. We're getting rid of Common Core. We're getting it out of Washington. We're going to educate our children. We're going to have mothers and fathers and people that love the kids, and we're going to get great education, and we're going to go up the list, and it won't even cost us as much. Isn't that nice? It's interesting when I speak of that, and I speak about how much it costs. You know, we'll go back to Jeb for a second. Poor guy. He's ashamed to use the name Bush. He goes, Jeb, exclamation. He's ashamed of his name. I said, Jeb, use your name. It's Jeb Bush. It's not Jeb. But it's sad. So he spends all of this money. So think of this. Think of it for the country, right? So he's at 89 million, and he's down in the bottom of the pack, right? I'm at nothing. I spent like nothing. In fact, they're talking about I spent nothing. I'm 38 million under budget. I thought by now, and by the way, I'm self-funding. I'm putting up all my own money, folks. I'm putting up all my own money. So I haven't spent. Now I'm going to start spending. You know why? Two reasons. Number one, I feel guilty. I do. Number two, I don't want to take any chances, right? So you'll see, and you've seen some ads start. But I mean, what I spend is peanuts, but I'm going to start spending some money. I just don't want to take any chances, right? And I do feel guilty because all these other guys, the money they spend, they're politicians. So this guy spent 89 million. He just announced another Trump ad. Okay, Trump. He's going to do a Trump ad. Another one. I saw it. It's terrible, by the way. It's a terrible ad. Terrible for him, not for me. I think it's actually good for me if you want to know the truth. Because he doesn't know the difference. But wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? A guy spends the most, and he's essentially in last place. A guy spends the least. I'm the least of everybody. By far the least, right? A guy spends the least, and he's in first place. Wouldn't that be nice if we could do that for our country? Wouldn't that be nice? These politicians. And we're going to do that. We're going to do that. There was a guy, Charles O. Finley. Anybody ever? Oakland A's. 3 years he won the World Series. George Steinbrenner was a friend of mine. I said, this guy is a murder. He had the lowest payroll in baseball, and he had the best team. Remember, he sold Reggie Jackson to the Yankees, got a lot of money. Then he sold Catfish Hunter to the Yankees. And George was my good friend. He was a great guy. But George would pay him a fortune. I want Catfish. But he had him when he didn't pay him anything. So he had the lowest salary in baseball, and he won 3 World Series in a row. That's what we want for our country. That's what we want. That's what we want for our country. And that's what's going to happen. and we're going to make our country rich again. And we're going to make our country, we're going to get rid of that 19 trillion, which is now because of that. How about the budget 2 weeks ago? Was that the most disgraceful thing? So the $19 trillion that we owe is going to $21 trillion. We're going to do a lot of good things. We're bringing our jobs back. We're going to bring our money back. A beautiful woman at one of the events came up to me and said, Mr. Trump, could I just talk to you for a second? Little elderly. She said, Mr. Trump, I don't like when you say you're going to make the country rich. I'm going to vote for you. I love you, Mr. Trump, but don't say you're going to make the country. I said, look, I'm sorry, darling, but I have to say that. Because if we don't make our country rich, we can't make our country great. We're like a debtor nation. She said, oh, I said, this is a story. We're going to make our country rich. We're going to get rid of the debt. We're going to save Social Security. We're going to take care of ISIS. We're going to blast ISIS off the face of the earth. We're going to take care of our military. And hopefully we don't have to use our military. Hopefully we don't have to use it. We're going to take care of our vets who are treated horribly. Horribly. We're going to get rid of Obamacare. We're going to repeal it and replace it. Because Obamacare, I don't know if you've seen it, but everybody goes crazy with Obamacare. Premiums, it's terrible. Shout it out once again. It's terrible. Terrible. It is terrible. Your premiums have gone up 25, 35, 45%. It's dead in 17. Think about it. If I win, I've got to solve this problem given to me. It's dead. It will die of its own weight. It can't last. It's dead in 17. And already the Republicans, and, you know, while they're trying to make me establishment, okay. But they're already saying we've got to do something to save it. I don't want to save it. We're going to kill it. Let it die. Let it die. And we're going to come up with something much, much better. Much better. Look at your premiums. Look at your deductibles. You have to be hit by a train if you think about it. You have to be hit by a train. You're never going to be able to use it. The deductibles are so high. So we're getting rid of Obamacare. We're going to come up with something that's going to be much cheaper and much better for the country and for yourselves, okay? And it can be done, and it can be done. You know, the problem with Obama and Obamacare is the insurance companies and other special interests are making a fortune, just so you understand. That's why you still have the lines around each state. That's why if I want to bid from my building in Las Vegas, I want to bid all over. I can't. I got a couple of guys, maybe if I'm lucky. If I'm lucky. So what we have is we're going to have an amazing system. We're going to, and I say this, and I'm starting to say it more. Look at all these people in this corner. Look at that. Oh, that guy's having a good time. Boy, are you comfortable over there? On June 16th, I came out and I said all of the things that I just said. Then we had the attack in Paris. And then I made a statement. We talked about radical Islamic terror. Radical Islamic terror. Do you hear that, President Obama? Radical Islamic terror. We have a president that refuses to use the words. He refuses to use the phrase. And unless you're going to talk about it, folks, you're never going to solve a very, very serious and horrible problem. There is tremendous hatred going, not only here, all over the world. And I have Muslim friends that call me, and these are great people. They're really great people. And they say, Donald, you've done a tremendous service. And not all of them say that to me, I'll be honest with you. Some of them aren't exactly thrilled, but many of them are. They said, you've exposed something, and you're the only one with the guts to talk about it. Nobody else wants to talk about it. So we can't live. Get him out, folks. So sad, right? It's a young woman that, you know, doesn't know. She's lost. And all we're doing, and look, we're not talking from a negative. Folks, we're talking about from a positive standpoint. That's all right. Leave her jacket there. You don't have to bring it back. The hell with her. The hell with her. Let her get it later on. Let her get it later on. Don't give it to her. Let her pick it up in about 2-3 hours when we're finished. So bad. So bad. And we love local law enforcement. That's right. By the way, the police, come here, fellas. Get up here. Police, come here. Look at these police. Get up here. Get the police up here. These are the greatest people. Come on, get up here. I'm going to make you a star. Get up here. These are the greatest people. They have been abused. These are great people. The police are great people. They've been abused. We got to let them do their job. And you'll always have a problem, and you'll always have the bad apple, and that'll be on television for 2 weeks, and everyone, let me tell you, 99.99, these are amazing, great people, and without them, we wouldn't be here, folks. We wouldn't be here. The police all over the country, they're great people. I know them well. I've had so many endorsements from police departments. I mean, it's been incredible. So many endorsements. But we have to respect our police, and everybody has to respect law and order. They have to respect it. Without that, we don't have a country. So I started talking about, as you know, illegal immigration. I started talking about trade. I started talking about the different things. The border, very important. Then after Paris, it all changed. And CNN came out with a poll. And it was who can best handle ISIS. And it was Trump by a lot. And who's the best in terms of the border and security? It was Trump by a lot. And who's the best leader? It was Trump by a lot. By a lot. And who's the best for the economy? It was Trump by unbelievable amounts. The only thing I did bad on was my personality. Can you believe it? It's true. They didn't say I was the nicest person. But you know what? I am a nice person. Believe me, I love people. I am a nice person. But can I tell you what? It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. To me, that's the least. We need toughness. We need competence. We have to bring back our businesses. We have to build up our military. So big, so strong. Nobody's going to mess with us anymore. Nobody. Nobody. So honestly, an amazing phenomenon has taken place. This week, we're on the cover of Time magazine. A really great story. I can't believe it. Time magazine, I've been on the number of covers of Time. Time magazine did a story this week by a writer that was so good. And he talked about this phenomena that we have. This is a phenomenon. It basically is people that, and it's explained so well. Go out and get it. Go out and get it. I'm talking. You don't even see me. It's just me talking. It's a picture from the back. And in fact, I noticed I don't have a bald spot. I was so happy. But it's a picture of me talking to a massive crowd of people. And basically it's talking, thank you, darling. Oh, there it is. Give me that magazine. Give me that magazine. Give me that magazine. They deserve it. Generally, I don't like Time magazine. And this week I happen to like it very much. That's the magazine. Go out and get it. Unbelievable. Thank you, darling. Pretty good, right? So it's a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon. The crowds are like this everywhere. The people are like this. You're from here, they're from there, but we're all the same. We want, thank you, we want something great. It's so simple. We want security. We want good jobs. We don't want to have the world take our economy. We have been ripped so badly. The greatest theft in the history of the world has been what China has done to us. They've taken our jobs, they've taken our money, they've taken everything. They have rebuilt China with our money. Remember that. Remember that. We have rebuilt China. We're going to take it back, folks. We're going to take a lot of things back. We're going to take a lot. And remember this. Remember this. Security. That's what's come up. Security. We're going to make our country secure again. Nobody feels secure anymore. Does anybody? Nobody feels secure. We're going to make our country great. We're going to make our country secure. We're going to make our country rich. Just to put it all together, what's our theme? Make America great again.